to my channel Canadian Saga. In today's video we are going to discuss the process of filing a visitor visa for our parents or loved ones for Canada. Today we are going to discuss what is the new process of filing this visitor visa for our loved ones for Canada. So starting from the basics, you definitely have to make an online account with the Canadian immigration website, which is the CIC or IRCC as we call that. The next step in that process is once you fill out that form, to attach the additional documents, which are the most important thing. Now, we have a lot of videos available online on how to make an account, so I'm not going to go on that direction. Rather, I'm going to focus on the more documentation part of it. So, once you fill out that form, the next thing it's going to ask you is the list of documents which you'll have to upload. They are very crucial. They decide whether your application is going to be accepted or is it going to get rejected, or are they going to ask you for further documentation, which we obviously want to avoid just because it delays the process. The online form as well has changed now with the Canadian immigration website for the visitor visa. Earlier we used to upload a lot of documents, but now things have changed. So friends, all the things which I'm telling you in this video are just personal recommendations. These are from my experience. You can definitely seek legal advice from your agents, from your lawyers, but these are just personal recommendations since I did file a few visitors visa for my loved ones in just recent times. Now, we do not have to upload a lot of documents, which doesn't mean that we do not have to provide that information. Information is still going to be needed. It is just based that earlier we used to attach the documents. Now sometimes we have to type a lot of information in the blocks which they have given while filling out the forms. So while you fill out this online form, you definitely obviously have to make your CIC login ID. Just do recommend that just save those credentials, because they are once if you forget your password and stuff, it's a big thing. You're gonna waste a lot of time to recover all that information. So while filling the form, just make sure that you attach a lot of supporting documents. I would say just think from the point of view of the immigration person who's receiving your application. Just think like if you receive this application, what all would you want in the application? So I would definitely recommend submitting finances from both the parties, which is the party who's intending to travel to Canada. Maybe it could be your parents, grandparents, siblings, anyone, plus financial documents of yours, who is the inviting party. So I would say bank statements for last 6 months with a good standing should be good enough to bring you the visitor visa. Now when I say financial documents will bring you the visitor visa, actually we do need a lot of things along with it. So good financial standing is definitely a plus point from both the parties. Just make sure that your funds are consistent and well maintained. The other thing which the immigration likes to have is your job letters. So job letters of both the parties, again, the person who's intending to travel as well as the person who is inviting. A very detailed job letter stating your position, the company you work in, your wage, your average number of hours, and then your job responsibilities and duties. It is very important that the job letter should be recent. It should not be more than maybe a month to 2 months old, though the immigration might accept it, but it's a chance which we do not want to really take. Along with these documents, letter of invitation is very, very important. We need to make sure that we have a very detailed letter of invitation. They need to understand that who is inviting, why are you inviting, and who are you inviting, and what is going to be the duration of the stay, where you're gonna stay, who's gonna support financially. So is it the person who is traveling, he's financially independent, or the person who is inviting is the one who's gonna bear all the expenses? We're gonna be very careful when we make this letter that this letter is up to date. It shouldn't be very old. It should contain the dates. It should contain signatures of all the inviting parties. So if it is husband and wife inviting, it is good if we have signatures from both of them, and not e-signatures. But I would recommend, once you make this letter, take a printout of it, read it, just check for any typos, any errors, and then sign all the parties who are inviting. Next up in the line of documents is going to be your passports and PR cards, or if you're a citizen, then just passports would be good enough. So passports in good standing for the person who's intending to travel. In this case, we'll take parents, passport of the children who are inviting them. They should have a good amount of duration left on that passport. And again, the PR cards, very clear copy, because that's the main source which they're looking at. What is your immigration status as an inviting in Canada? So like, if you are a PR, you hold a very strong kind of a ground to invite your parents, your loved ones. But if you're on a work permit or a study permit, it is a little bit difficult, but I would not say it's impossible. Totally depends on how you make your application. So again, in the list, PR cards and passport, very important. Next up in the line is going to be the purpose of travel letter. So sometimes the system will allow you to upload this letter. Sometimes it will just ask you it in a brief description, like when you're filling the form. Either are fine. Once you have made the letter, you can just copy the same content and paste it there. So purpose of travel is going to be from the person who's intending to travel. So in this case, we're just assuming it's parents. So they have to write the letter that why I am traveling, who I'm traveling with, and how long I'm gonna stay, and where I'm gonna stay, and who's inviting me. Should be very clear. A short letter, not very long, maybe half of a page, or at the max 1 page. That should be good enough to tell your purpose of travel. It should be very straightforward. Again, once all these documents are compiled, these are the additional documents which I would say definitely every applicant should put in, just so that we can make sure that your visa would come on time. And again, this is all recommendations. This is just from a personal experience. These all the documents might not be showing in the requirement, but they make your application much strong, which gives a better chance of approval and a quick approval. The immigration won't send this kind of an application back typically for any kind of further clarification. Once you have these documents ready, once your file is uploaded, it'll ask you to do your payment and everything. And once all that is done, next thing you expect would be the call for your biometrics, if you're doing it for the first time, because biometrics are valid for 10 years. So if you have previously done it and you're doing it again, like if you're applying for the visa again, you might not require it. But if it, like in this case, we're assuming it's the first time applicant, so definitely yes, you will have to give your biometrics so that they can be in the Canadian government's record, that how your fingerprints are, and they'll just run a background check on that, and they'll definitely take a photograph of you. Once all this is done, next thing you're waiting for is the good news of request of passport. Once that is done, all you gotta do is go into the IRCC offices, which is across the world, submit your passport, and hopefully soon your passport will be stamped, the Canadian visa, which a lot of people wait for a long time. So make sure that all these documents which I told you, they should be in your application. Just keep them ready beforehand before you prepare your application. So once everything is ready to upload, you already have these documents all set to go with it. If you have any further questions, just pin a comment down here. We'll try and answer your questions. And again, these are all recommendations. If you still have any kind of a doubt, definitely seek legal advice, I would say. And do like this video, please share, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon on so that you can get all the updates on my latest videos. It's not just gonna be full related immigration, it's gonna be about the Canadian life. Again, my channel name is Canadian Saga. Take care and be safe.